Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Akarkadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out of Jeremiah 28:8. That's the title of the sit-down lesson. And this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. The prophets that have been before thee and before thee of old prophesy against many countries, against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right, just like the prophets of old prophesy about war, evil, and the pestilence of our great forefathers, prophesied during those ancient times. Now, as we see the prophets back on the scene today, which is the children of Israel, and we are the representation of the children of Israel in modern day time, just like in ancient times, now in modern day times. Just like the prophets of old prophesy about war, evil, and the pestilence, and prophesy against great countries and great kingdoms. And we're doing that in modern day times as well too. In modern day Babylon, the areas where we've been scattered at through the four winds of the globe. And we're prophesying about war, evil, and the pestilence. And we're seeing that, just like it says in the book of Ecclesiasticus 1 and 9, Ecclesiastics 1 and 9 of that scripture. I referenced that scripture, it says there's nothing new under the sun. Just like in ancient times about the war, evil, and the pestilence, the prophets of old prophesy about the increasing of the wars, evils, and the pestilence that was going to come during those times. Now we're seeing, fast forward into modern day times, we're prophesying against great countries and great kingdoms of war, evil, and the pestilence. We're prophesying against Babylon, prophesying against modern day Babylon. We're prophesying against modern day Egypt and the modern day kings of Babylon, prophesying against the modern day kings of the earth, prophesying against them, prophesying against modern day Babylon, prophesying against modern day Egypt as well too. So just like the prophets of old prophesy against great countries and great kingdoms of war, evil, and of pestilence, and we're prophesying against the great kingdoms, and many countries and many nations, and we're prophesying about war, evil, and the pestilence, And we're definitely going to continue to see the increasing of the wars, evils, and the pestilence. Just like in the wars category, we're seeing the wars and rumors of wars heating up between the different nations and different kingdoms. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. As we continue to see that increasing, the evils are just going to increase. Lawlessness is going to increase. The love of many are waxing cold, just like it says in Matthew 24, verse 12. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28, which is the apocryphal books of the Holy Scriptures of Sirach 39 and verse 28. There's our spirits that are created for vengeance, and that leads into the categories of evils and as well too. So the seditions, the uprisings, the uproars, and the people of the world. So evils is going to continue to increase, just like it says in Revelations 12:12, because the ultimate deceiver should come down with great wrath, because he had but a short time. In the category of the pestilence, we're definitely going to continue to see the pestilence and the plagues as well too in the latter days. As we continue to see the code word 19, if you know what I mean, those cases are going up, and that's in the categories of pestilence and plagues, right along with the weather conditions. As we continue to see the tornadoes, earthquakes, floodings, landslides, mudslides, wildfires, heavy droughts. Hey, these are categories of the pestilence, categories of the weather conditions, and the pestilence and the plagues and the diseases that we are going to see, just like in ancient time, the pestilence, the plagues, the famines, the locusts was taking place during in modern day Egypt, and during those times, in ancient times. Now, fast forward into modern day times, we're going to see the increasing of the famine, pestilence, and plagues as well too. And that's what we're prophesying in modern day times of Jeremiah 28:8, just like the prophets of old did in ancient times about war, evil, and the pestilence. And that's what we're prophesying in modern day times about war, evil, and the pestilence. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson is edifying of Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. And that was the title of the sit-down lesson. I would like to give all praises and glory and honor gratitude to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Akarkadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word, truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the world, preaching the word, truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.